All right, guys, welcome back. Another day, another video. Let's jump right into it. Lots to talk about. First of all, we got some leaked clips from two Sega games that could be making their way out, and you would assume that they would be coming to Xbox, as Xbox has a great relationship with Sega, as majority of their games do hit the platform. Some of the biggest games that were missing from Xbox over the last number of years have been the Persona series. Those all came into Xbox Game Pass, and it looks like one of those games that is actually currently there right now within Xbox Game Pass may be getting a remake in the future, and that is Persona 3. And then the other game that could be getting a remake is Jet Set Radio. Now, there were some tweets out there where they had some videos that were leaked, and this is apparently from a Sega financial call, business call, where they showed off videos of future games that would be coming out. And here's a tweet, and this is the actual video itself. I'll just replay it here, and you can see that this is Persona 3 that they have up there, looking like it would be a brand new version of the game. And then in this longer video here, this is Persona 3. And at the top of the video, it actually apparently says that it is footage in development. And you can see here Sonic Frontiers is a part of the video. And then as we move forward down through the video, Jet Set Radio pops up as looking like it is going to have a remake version of it. And the update actually says here in the tweet, special thanks to anonymous user DM for this. So it seems this was part of the footage from Sega's Japan's internal meetings held in 2021, which would make sense because this was before Sonic Frontiers got released, and this is all stuff in development on top of Sonic Frontiers, again, Persona 3 and Jet Set Radio. And then we have SegaBits.com here saying in July 2022 we had seen a series of Jet Set Radio leaked images from a survey gauging the interest of various art styles. We don't want to share those as they are watermarked to the specific person. One image has surfaced from a different individual, and then they just show off a bunch of different pictures of Jet Set Radio. So pretty cool stuff, though. At the end of the day, for me in particular, Jet Set Radio getting a remake would be awesome to see. I loved the series itself, and then really enjoyed Jet Set Radio Future, which was the sequel that came out on the Xbox, the spiritual successor, you could say, to the Sega Dreamcast. And if you remember, that was a game that was actually bundled in with the original Xbox. It was a dual disc. It came with Sega GT as well. So lots of good memories from that. And I'm sure most people with an Xbox played that game just for the simple fact that it was bundled in. But obviously, there's no official announcement here. We have no idea if this is going to be coming true, if these games are in development, and if they are in development, are they going to make their way all the way out to the consumer, or maybe they'll stop them before they get there. But I do hope that we do see this. And Persona 3, obviously, I think is a no-brainer for Sega to remake, especially because a lot of people just haven't played it, at least in the West, and definitely not on Xbox, even though it is on Game Pass. And they would just make a killing off of that. And then Jet Set Radio as well. I think it would just revitalize that series. And people who haven't checked that game out, if you like games like Sunset Overdrive, it's kind of that style of game. It's just fast-paced, fun action, and it's just a ton of fun. But we will jump over here to another interesting story that has been going around. And this is what Sony does with their patents. Now, companies put patents out all the time, right? They put patents out for stuff that just never actually comes out to the consumer. It's just so they have these patents, so that if they want to go and create these products, they won't be held back. They won't be slowed down. And then people won't be able to copy the technology that they are developing. Sony puts up patents all the time, and one of the things that they seemingly do in their patents, with PlayStation specifically, is they make fun and they use language to call the other platforms inferior. So this is a patent going around right now, and it is basically for a universal remote. It says here, the patent cites a PC, PS2, PS3, PS4, PSP, and PS Vita as examples of potential devices that the controller can be used with, ending with, or a home entertainment system of a different, albeit inferior manufacturer. The patent itself isn't that interesting. This is kind of the picture of them showing everything that you're going to be able to use with this controller. Again, it just looks like a universal remote. What is interesting, though, is that language where they mention here, albeit an inferior home entertainment system or inferior manufacturer. And obviously they were referring to Xbox and Nintendo, because those would be the really only other home entertainment systems that they would be competing against if they were to put out a controller like this. And we have Florian Mueller here from Foss Patents, who has commented on this, and he has some interesting things to say, calling Sony stupid for doing this, and also saying here, it's amazing that no one has discovered this tradition before and that no patent office told them a long time ago to stop doing that once and for all. Patent applications are not meant to be propaganda instruments for console warriors. In that context, there is nothing wrong with discussing specific technical drawbacks such as inferior performance, higher power consumption, greater memory footprint, or particular prior art, earlier inventions. But calling competitors generally inferior is gratuitously stupid, childish, and unprofessional. Even if those manufacturers were inferior, it would not mean that whatever invention a given Sony patent purports to describe. Here, a universal controller is by definition innovative and deserving of patent protection. And he also goes on here and says, if a small company went to the same patent attorneys and wanted them to file patent specifications that contain such an outrageous passage, most patent attorneys would decline to attach their names to it. If Sony wants to engage in comparative advertising, it can do so elsewhere. Gamers are not going to make a purchase decision based on the language Sony uses in its patent application. So he just calls out Sony and just essentially saying, I can't believe that they're continuously doing this and the patent lawyers will sign their name and allow this language to be in their patents, as obviously they are console warring within the patents. But it's just funny, another move by Sony here that is coming out to the public that people hadn't caught for so long, but I feel like there is they're under the microscope now with the Xbox, Activision, Blizzard stuff. They have really shown all their cards kind of on how they act based off of the arguments that they have been making and trying to block the Xbox, Activision, Blizzard acquisition. This here isn't going to help at all for their public perception and what people think about PlayStation, what people think about Sony, because I would say, honestly, if you've been following Sony for a very long time, you would know about some of the anti-consumer things that they have done throughout the years, but no one really paid that much attention to it. Media didn't cover it nearly as much, I don't find. And now we're really seeing it all come out. And here's just another, I guess, mark against them in terms of them being a childish, unprofessional company using the language that they do. And maybe it's just a tradition. Maybe it's just something that they kind of laugh at themselves internally. And the fact that they've been able to put this in their patents for all of these years, they probably are just like, well, we'll just keep on doing it. But if good points here by Foss Patents, and just an interesting catch there by Gamerant, who finally saw this language, wrote an article about it, and now everyone is seeing kind of the stuff that PlayStation is doing, specifically with the language they use, console warring inside of their patents. Now we'll jump over here to some Starfield news, because last week we got some images here for a leaked Xbox controller, a special edition Starfield controller. And people were wondering, is this fan made? Is this real? And we didn't know, but it was a very good looking controller. My first thoughts as soon as I saw it was, this is definitely real. I mean, you see the Xbox wireless controller sticker on the back. It has like the barcode and all that type of stuff. And generally, if it was fan made, I feel like that's not something that would look that real. They probably wouldn't show the back there with the cover off. It would probably just be the front and the back, so they wouldn't actually have to put something in there to make it look realistic. So that kind of gave it away for me. I could be wrong if that's something that somebody who's doing fan art would put in there or not, but we're getting confirmation now that essentially this is a real controller that you're going to be able to buy. And there is also going to be a Starfield headset that is going to be coming with Starfield, but there will be no special edition console. Now, again, this is all rumors. It hasn't been confirmed, but I think you can bet that that controller is going to be coming out, again, just based by the looks of the pictures that have been leaked. It says here, recently we covered imagery that had surfaced that allegedly revealed a special edition Starfield controller. Now, following a claim made on the Xbox Era podcast, it seems that there may also be a Starfield themed headset in the works that'll go hand in hand with the controller when the game launches in September. However, comments handed down by Kay Asante on the latest episode of the podcast suggest that a limited edition Starfield Xbox Series X and S console will not make an appearance, much to the dismay of fans and collectors alike. It's worth stressing that all of this is unconfirmed, but the evidence does strongly suggest that at least the Starfield controller is real. And that's the key thing. It's not confirmed, but the evidence very much is pointing to the controller being real. We obviously haven't seen anything about the headset, which I'm sure they could do a lot of cool designs for that. I don't know how many people are interested in getting a headset versus a controller. Controller, I think, will be a popular item, but I feel like a console, specifically collector's edition, if there was another game that Xbox is going to make for a collector's edition, it would be Starfield after Halo Infinite. And then the next one I would say probably would be for like the next Gears game. But Starfield would have made a lot of sense for a collector's edition Xbox Series X and S. I feel like they're kind of missing the boat there, but at the same time, we still don't even know what's going on with the stock issues, specifically for the Xbox Series X. I know that stock overall has improved. Definitely with the PlayStation 5, it has improved. But the Xbox Series X, just from my general observations in Canada at least, I have seen very limited links popping up. It's very few and far between when a link pops up for an Xbox Series X to be available to purchase, and they're always sold out. Whereas the PS5, I've seen the stock just increase exponentially. I've seen them in store at Costco. I've seen the links pop up all the time where you really don't have to even jump on right away to get a PS5. But Series X, I'm very interested in what is going on with the actual stock of those consoles. And is the stock are they just holding all this stock back right now? And is it going to be widely available when Starfield does drop? Because that's going to be a major console pusher. And Xbox, if they do want to push consoles, although we know that isn't their main strategy, I know whenever we bring up console or console sales, I always see people in the comments saying that's not their main strategy. And obviously I understand that. I've said that multiple times in my videos, but they still obviously want to push their hardware somewhat. And I feel like they have to use a game like Starfield to push that hardware, add in some sort of advertising to get people to go out and buy the Xbox Series X. And even if it's just kind of like a bundle, like they're doing with Diablo 4, I think it would be something that would be smart to do with such a massive game. But if you're looking for a custom Xbox Series X, it looks like, based off of these unconfirmed rumors, it is not going to be happening, which I think is kind of missing the boat there. I think it would have been a great game and they could have done some really, really cool designs with all of the artwork that we have seen so far from Starfield. And then finally, we do have some more confirmation on the actual Xbox game showcase and the Starfield Direct. So some details have surfaced for this, and it comes via Twitter. It says here, on a Twitter post has surfaced reportedly detailing the duration and potentially also the split for the Xbox game showcase and the Starfield Direct show taking place on June 11th. And again, not too far away, 2 months, right? 2 months away from, I think it's going to be a really exciting showcase with all of the stuff coming out this year. I can't wait to see what Xbox has in store, and can't wait to see if we're going to get footage of games like Fable that I would love to see where they are on that game. We've heard stuff about Phil Spencer, or we've heard Phil Spencer say that the game looks great. So hopefully it's not just PR when they say stuff like that, and hopefully we're closer to some gameplay footage of Fable. And then obviously everything else that they're working on. Love to see some State of Decay 3. I'd love to see some Perfect Dark. I think there'll be lots of games to show off at the June 11th showcase, and Hellblade 2 as well. It says here, it was claimed that the show will run from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific on June 11th, 2023, with further claims surfacing that the split will see a 90-minute section being reserved for the main show and a 30 minutes being kept aside to showcase Starfield in all of its glory. So there you have it. We kind of know how long it's going to be. It's going to be, well, we know it's going to be a 2-hour show. 90 minutes of it is going to be the main show showing everything off, and then 30 minutes for Starfield, which I think is a perfect split. I don't think you need more than 30 minutes for Starfield. I don't think you want more than 30 minutes for Starfield. I know for myself personally, as excited I am to play the game, I do want to see some more gameplay. I want to see how they've improved off of the last trailer, but I really don't want them to go so in depth that they're going to be giving away some of the game. I really want to jump into Starfield almost blank slate. I know that's impossible. I'm going to be looking into the game. I watched the trailers, but almost blank slate that when I'm playing it, I'm just blown away and surprised by so many things that are happening while playing the game. So I hope this 30-minute trailer is kind of just giving us a slightly deeper dive, showing us a bit more of some of the mechanics within the game and getting rid of people's worries about the first gameplay trailer, especially with like the frame rate and some of the reactions of the AI when they were being hit. So that, I think they'd be great to clear that up and show it off. But 30 minutes, I think, is far more than enough for this show, for Starfield. And then 90 minutes is generally what they do with their main shows anyway. So it seems right on track. June 11th. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great week. I know there's no E3, which to me is disappointing because I've always been somebody for my entire life who it's just been a part of my gaming life. E3, now that it's gone, it's kind of weird, but there's going to be tons of great showcases for us to watch. But I'm going to leave the video there, guys. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff. What do you think about the Sony patent, the leaked Sega games, and all of the Starfield news? If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.